Hey everybody, this is Andy from Tennis Euphoria bringing you my review of the Prince ATS Textreme Tour 95. This is the 95 square inch, 320 gram unstrung, 290 swing weight unstrung 16x19 version. If you want some more details on the 310 or the 98, check out the channel where I have reviewed them. Mine was, as you can see, a touch under spec, coming in light on swing weight, only a gram out on weight, which is actually pretty good. We've got the same design here, which I actually really like. I'm not that fussed about cosmetics, but I do think that this looks pretty cool. I strung up with Technofiber razor code at £52 to have consistency across this and the 310 and the 98. There are still 95s that this could compare to, and there's a red herring on there. Can you name them all? Let me know in the comments. The obvious contenders to compare this and demo this against would be the Yonex VCore 95 and the Dunlop CX200 Tour. I prefer the 1619 there, and of course the Prestige and the Head Pro Tour in my view. In terms of hitting with this, first impressions was that it's quite nice to have actually quite different rackets within Prince's Tour line. They refer to the ATS Textreme Tours as their control tour line, and I actually felt that all of the rackets, yes, are controlled, but they're different. So the principal difference between this 95 and the 310 and the 98 that I have reviewed is that this is less powerful. It has a smaller sweet spot, and it has, I would say, similar comfort levels, but it has a slightly different feel. The 310 is a little bit crisper in feel compared to the 98, which actually feels like it's accurate to its RA and really flexible. This feels actually very similar, I felt, to the version of the 95 that it replaces if you've hit with that. So it is quite soft and comfortable, but not drastically different with the new ATS. What this racket did for me is it made me want to play how I used to play years ago when I was 17, and we're talking 26 years ago. In those days I had a big serve, which is slower now. I used to be quite aggressive. I'd come to the net a lot and I had a one-handed backhand. I found that when I was hitting with this, because I guess the sweet spot is slower, less rather, and you feel like you're in good control if you're being aggressive, then that's how I was playing. I was slicing a lot. I was asking mates to do some drills with me, just chipping the ball nice and short. I was enjoying doing some drills at the net, and if I got to play some match play with it, then generally I'd be aggressive. But partly that is because I was noticing that the sweet spot is, of course, smaller than the 310 and the 98, so it's harder work on the baseline. I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is that without lots of power and natural long swings, you are going to drop the ball quite short with this racket, and certainly the difference was a good few feet coming straight from hitting the 310 into this, which was interesting. This clip for me sums up the racket really well. If I'm able to play quite creatively, slice and dice, bring someone in passing shot, great. If I'm able to move them around the court with control, drop shot, lobs, great. This is a really good performing racket. As soon as I'd sit on the baseline, which is more my game now, then that would get exposed a little bit. You do get great directional control, but it does come up a little bit short, and if you're hitting against modern day players, then they can quite quickly expose that and get on top of that lack of depth. Clearly you would adjust, but I suppose the overall message is that if you're interested in the ATS line, then the 98 and the 310 for the modern game are of course more effective in my view. So I think 95s should be considered by players who are, probably very big, very strong physically, and are very, very advanced. So you're looking for ultimate control. Alternatively, it could be suitable for people who, like me, used to play in a certain way and perhaps want to play that way. I don't necessarily now, so this isn't a racket for me. But I think if you are someone who enjoys slicing and dicing, getting to the net and have a big serve, then the control aspects of this racket will make it a really good contender. How does it compare to the other 95s? You get more spin from the VCore 95. You get great comfort and nice feel from this. In many respects, I actually felt that it reminded me in terms of playability levels of the 93P a little bit, just in terms of some of its attributes, the depth and the control. I would say that its most comparable and probably its biggest rival is the Dunlop CX200 Tour, and actually I would give the 200 Tour 16x19 the slight edge if you weight up the Dunlop a little. So that's it from me. It's a good racket, it's just not something that I could use effectively. Very excited to be stringing up soon the new Technofiber 305 Isoflex. That could be right up my street. Subscribe to the channel if that's something you want to hear my thoughts on. Many thanks, see you in the next one.